This was the topic of the week, if you ask me. If you open Twitter on the subject of ARK, you could not get around this bizarre photo. A few days ago, the trailer of the movie Guardians of Time was released, and I'm not a movie nerd or anything, so I don't really know the backstory, but it seems to be like a book adaptation with a target audience of children and teenagers. 4 girls save the world in a Narnia-esque setting where they meet fantasy creatures and have to fight some too. But when it comes to the fighting, there was an old friend of ours. My first thought was, isn't ARK paying the Forest Titan enough anymore that he has to find a new job and a new career? But then I thought it was probably more of a, can I copy your homework? Yes, but don't make it too obvious case. Whereas the second point was absolutely failed because everyone who plays ARK knows this is our tree daddy, the Forest Titan. Even the attack animations were copied. If you look at the trailer, link in the description, you will see also other figures and assets look very similar. The dino in the movie looks like the Indoraptor from Jurassic Park, and the Wyvern, many think it looks like Smaug from The Hobbit, but I don't think so. I think the model is very similar, but it's not the same. Whereas the Forest Titan was simply copied 1-to-1. But how can this happen? Did a $1 million company simply rip assets from ARK and then put them in the movie? That's super unlikely to begin with. I'll just try to reconstruct what I think happened. Lionsgate are not the makers of the movie, they're just a publisher. Meaning the film is made by someone else and then released and distributed by Lionsgate, a bit like a publisher with books. Often these films are from indie filmmakers and then are distributed by larger publishers. So no, Lionsgate's CEO didn't sit at the ARK files and exported them personally. And I don't think the indie studio did either, so what happened? If you do a search for Forest Monster 3D asset, which maybe a small indie studio with a limited budget would do, then this will show up in your search results. And the second guy, we know him. If we click on the page, we come to this page. And there he is, Tree Daddy Forest Titan in all its glory for a proud $199, uploaded in 2020, 2 years after the release of Extinction where he appeared first. But let's have a look through the library of the uploader, and it quickly becomes clear that's not the only one. So if I were an indie studio and I had a limited budget and I had to buy my assets, I would probably go to a store like this, and honestly, none of these assets say this is from a video game. These assets are offered as original content. However, if you take a look at the animations, for the Rex, for example, you will see they were simply ripped out of the game. So, in the best case scenario, the studio thought it was perfectly okay to use this asset because they not only paid for it, but they also purchased a license. But what now? Since Wildcard owns the rights to these assets, they will be able to decide what happens. In the best case, they will just simply send a cease and desist letter so that asset disappears from the movie and the scenes have to be redone. In the worst case, this can go to court, but that's between those two companies. That this happened shows there's a bigger problem, and that's the trade with copyrighted assets. Even though it's not legal, the fact that a movie studio bought such asset is a big coincidence, but who knows where these models have been used in good consciousness before, exposing the buyer to potential legal cases. Most likely, Wildcard will be stricter against asset sites and uploaders of these assets in the future, so that something like this does not happen again, and to send a clear signal that they won't let something like this go through. But if you now want to see the real Forest Titan in action, check out this video of me defeating King Titan Alpha on the Norwegian Vikings cluster as the Forest Titan rider, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, bye!